We in the building again. We got the whole Urban Matters Matter Media Group. Black Media Matters. Back again from the Chop Up This Heavy Game. I'm your gracious host, Dr. Juwce. We got the professor in the building. And we got the HP's finest, Reggie, my boy. He in the building. We're going to give the roll call. Professor Voss, are you here?
I am here, counted and present.
All right. HP finest, Reggie boy.
Live in the building.
Daddy. All right, man.
In living color.
All right, y'all make sure y'all please like, subscribe, and share this broadcast. Please, with your loved ones. We have a special bulletin, and we have a news update about what's about to happen with the BRICS nation and the US dollar. They are competing with one another. The US petrodollar, they call it. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of the petrodollar, but the petrodollar is in the process of being eliminated as the world reserve currency. And family, this is going to be epic. This is going to be big. It's going to be a lot of information coming through on this stream. Professor, are we broadcasting on all platforms?
Yes, sir. I was able to spare you on my platform. Looking good.
All right, that's good. Mic check, microphone check, y'all. Is my audio coming through clearly?
Yes, sir.
All right, that's what we want to hear. All right, Red, you want to break this thing down for us a little bit? So you came across some news that was really, I think it kind of had you concerned, and you wanted to share it with the family about the BRICS nation. That BRICS is BRICS. BRICS, the acronym for Brazil, Russia. I think it's India, right? China.
And South Africa.
Okay, we're going to pull this real quick article up. I think our professor is sharing it with us now. And let's see if we got some
You got the sound? You got the sound, boss?
Yeah, I think we
don't know if you'll be able to get the sound on this because, we got two different systems.
Okay, yeah, we don't have any sound, boss, on that one.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can pull it up on my end. All right, we're gonna have to pause one. Okay, that's good, boss. Let's see. Put it back. Go ahead, put it on, boss. Okay, let's see. Go to the status. Yeah, for a minute there. The crown. It's got a little echo to it.
You got to kill his computer.
Yeah. Yeah, you might just have to share it on the same one you're on the iPhone on, Professor. Let me see if I can pull it up on my end. But go ahead, Red. Just kind of give us a briefing on what we're about to educate the family on.
Well, bro, honestly, this is something that's been in the works for a minute, and a lot of us over here in this country, the good old U.S. of A. We're always distracted by all these, if it ain't Kanye West, now it's LeBron and his son.
Yeah, pop culture, right?
It's Biden or Trump. They always got some type of deflection going on, some type of distraction. But this has been in works since before the 2020 election. Russia, Brazil, India, China, and South Africa linked up to fight against the American currency, which has been the world banking currency for the past 6 decades, all the way back to probably when Neil Armstrong supposedly landed on the moon. But that's a story for another day. But what this is these countries are uniting to fight against the American dollar, because the American dollar has been the global currency on everything.
You're right. So now, world reserve currency, right?
Yeah, the world reserve currency. So now a lot of us don't realize, but the the most of the currency in this world is supposed to be backed by some type of commodity, gold. Some countries like Ukraine,
Absolutely.
they use grain um, as
Yeah.
as a currency backer.
Basically a natural resource. Correct.
Ukraine also uses lithium, and it's another commodity like India. They use a poppy, which is opium that backs their money. So China, um, I forget what they use to back their money, but because
China backs their money with gold.
With gold. So
Right.
the biggest of the money that's being backed is now being backed in petroleum. And a lot of people don't know what petroleum is, but a lot of people do. We associate it with gas, but it's basically oil.
Yeah, petroleum. Petroleum is a natural resource
It's a natural
that
resource,
right
absolutely.
that comes out of the earth's crust. And it's kind of similar to oil, but in order to take petroleum and refine it into a usable product, you have to have years of equipment and also research. And nobody can. I mean, everybody is not experienced in how to refine petroleum into a usable substance. You have petroleum in. I know you guys heard about petroleum jelly. There's a lot of products that petroleum goes into. Petroleum can also, I don't know if you heard of petrochemicals. This is a lot of stuff that they use for deodorants, different natural resources that we use for personal hygiene products and what have you. So petroleum comes in all different shapes, forms, and fashions. I just
They
want to
use
add
it in
that to
food. They
that.
use it in foods as well.
They also use it in food as well. Yes, they do. Yes, they
But
do.
but the
Mhm.
people that really control 90% of the petroleum are the
Right.
Saudi Arabians. So
Yes.
they're pretty much, I guess we can call them Arabs or whatever you want to call them. But
Right.
they control most of the oil because that's the region where most of the oil is being produced. But they have a dude over there. He's almost, I guess you can almost call him like a dictator. He's the crown prince of Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
And what this video is saying,
His name Ben Salman. Yes.
yes. So what this video is saying is that he's pulled all his resources back from the United States dollar that's been backing the petroleum. Because honestly, the American dollar is backed by violence. It's not backed by any commodity.
Yes, sir. War.
They say it's gold in Fort Knox. Ain't nothing in there, bro. Ain't nothing in there. That's just a mirage.
No.
Everything America gets, they use violence to take it. So what the crown prince has done, he's putting his resources from his oil behind Brazil, Russia, India, and China. So here's going to be the significant part. A lot of us don't really pay attention to this stuff, but this is what's going to be significant. One BRICS dollar is going to be equivalent to 55 American dollars.
Absolutely.
So what this is going to do, this is going to render the American dollar is almost useless and valueless. So a loaf of bread probably going to be $15 here in 2025 when all this stuff takes place. So a gallon of gas, what we paying for it now? Like $3.60. It'll probably be $12. It'll probably be $12. All this money that we give these entertainers and these athletes, it's the money's not going to be worth as much as it has been because of the commodity that's been behind it is not going to be behind it anymore. So I want you to Like I have a 65-inch television right here, a Vizio. A brand new one right now probably would cost probably somewhere around $450, $500. So what we're gonna have to do is take that 450 or $500 and times it by 55. That's how much that TV is gonna cost. But see, people don't understand that. So I would like to see this video played so people can understand exactly what we're saying, Juice.
Absolutely. I'm trying to. Did you send it to my Facebook?
I sent it to your Instagram, but
I know I did.
I can send it to your to your messenger right fast if you want me to.
Send it to my messenger right quick, and we're gonna put it on for the family.
Okay, yeah. I need you to put this
Professor,
on.
you want to chime in on this? While brother Red is getting that video prepared for us.
It should be coming to you right now, Juice.
Okay.
Hold on.
Absolutely. Can you hear me?
Yes.
You can't hear me.
Yes, sir. We can hear
Okay,
you,
Juice.
sir.
It should be there now, Juice. You should
Okay.
see it. Go ahead, boss.
I'll let your video play.
No, you go ahead, boss. Go ahead. I'm getting it prepared.
Okay, so nephew, that is some very interesting insight, and I always like to commend you guys for being so forward thinking in your research. My question in terms of the impact of black people, because I'm black, obviously, and I want to know how if all these prices are going up and all these changes. I'm going to still ask the same question on everything you guys do. Going forward, how will you make money? The way that you're making money today obviously won't be the same way that you make money down the road.
It's not going to be
With
the
this
same.
I'm sorry?
It's not going to be the same. You're right.
Right. And then, so every day, I'm lecturing on digital transformation. I'm seeing what technology, how it's transforming globalization. Okay. I'm also looking at the skill sets of black people. Okay. We've always been the workers of this country overall. And my question again, in other words, let me just try to make it a little simple for you. All right. So I'm working at Popeyes, which I don't see too many black people working at Popeyes, but I'm working at Popeyes and I'm making, what am I making? $13 an hour, $12 an hour, minimum wage.
15.50.
I'm making $15.50.
15.50.
So based on what you just said, nephew, it's gonna take me 1 hour to buy a loaf of bread because you said bread gonna go up to $15, right?
Absolutely.
So then, wow, if it's gonna take me an hour just to make enough money to buy a loaf of bread, I can't make it, nephew. I can't make it. So now,
I don't mean to cut you off, but here's what I want you to focus on. What we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to get back to hunting and gathering and fishing. You see what I'm saying? And let's just be honest. A lot of stuff that we consume, it's not even cohesive to our bodies anyway. So a lot of stuff we consume and eat is crap anyway. So when we get that's why 80% of Americans are overweight or obese. But that's neither here nor there. But what I want you to understand is we I told Juice, I said families that has a man in the house that knows how to hunt and gather and fish, that family will be fine. But for all the families that don't have a man that knows how to do these things, they're pretty much going to fall by the wayside. See, this is almost like an apocalypse thing that's get ready to happen. So it's almost like survival of the fittest. And what's happening is the weak are going to fall by the wayside. Only the strong is going to survive. I don't get into religion and stuff too much anymore, but you can almost say the prophecy is fulfilling it. If I was into that realm, but I just want us to focus on being able to take care of our families. Uh, my wife may have to eat something that she never thought she would have to eat, but I know how to prepare it. I know how to hunt and fish and gather. So I know how to prepare it and clean it and make it digestible. You know what I'm saying? So
absolutely.
This is the thing that we're gonna have to focus on as men. Like Juice, like I told you, your wife, she may have to eat some stuff she never thought she'd eat. But, um, there's all kind of different herbs and stuff that's that's in the wild that we can use. And I'm gonna send you this book. It's called the Herbal Remedies book. I got it off the TikTok shop, and I'm gonna send it to you, Juice. I want you to get that book. So it shows us all the herbs and stuff that we can use, for medicinal issues and high blood pressure, diabetes. It's all kind of different stuff in the book, even cancer. But it also shows you all kind of plants and herbs that we can consume that's out in the wild. That makes sense, Uncle Voss?
Yeah, but it certainly presents a very interesting insight. I mean, when I think about Atlanta, when I think about all these folks downtown Atlanta, Buckhead, we have all of these apartment buildings. It's really a stretch to imagine how would those people survive in that situation.
I just got done telling you, a lot of people gonna fall by the wayside. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Yeah, that's it, Juice. We have people that don't. We got grown men that don't even know how to change a freaking tire. You see what I'm saying? Because they didn't have a man there to teach them how to do this. My granddaddy taught me how to change tires off the rim with the tire iron. My granddaddy taught me that back in the 70s. I was a kid. My granddaddy taught me that. So not only do I know how to change a tire, I change the tire off the rim. I can break the tire down and change a brand new tire onto the rim. I know how to do that. You see what I'm saying? But everybody don't have, like me. I can do plumbing. I can do electricity. I'm all like Juice. I know some HVAC. I know a little bit of everything. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna take some real well-rounded men to be able to put this thing into perspective. I was talking to Juice the other day about how men have made this world so comfortable that people don't even realize what it takes to get gas to your gas pump. We hear it all the time. We don't need men. We make six figures. If you're making six figures, what is that six figures gonna mean when a loaf of bread is $25? That six figures it's gonna be back to pretty much minimum wage. So just think about all the lower class people that's not even come close to touching maybe even 50 grand a year. Six figures, 100K and above, but 50 grand, that's pretty much right now is the average medium salary, for the average person here in the United States. So, like I said, times everything by 55, and this is what we're gonna have. Does that make sense?
Well, I have another challenge for you then, nephew.
Okay.
So since we live in an all-inclusive world, when I think about certain men in Atlanta, which is a lot of them, there are men in Atlanta who they invest a lot of money in getting their nails done. And it's kind of hard for me. This is Atlanta. This is Atlanta. What you laughing at? This is Atlanta. They spend a lot of money getting their nails done. So I was thinking about them as well when you're talking about changing tires, and them dudes ain't gonna change no tire, bro.
Like I just got done telling you, we got a lot of. I don't call them men. I call them males. They
Yeah.
don't even. They can't even like. Um, let's just say something goes wrong with your water heater. You know, I can I can do it, but if I I'm pretty much dialed into this pay for play society too. So and I'm not gonna lie, I go to the nail shop too. I get pedicures and manicures because I work in an office. I have to be presentable. But
Yeah, but do you color your nails, nephew?
oh hell, come on now.
But that's extra money. I'm just saying, I get it. I get my nails done too, but I don't get them colored, and I don't
No
get
no
those
no no
little
no
things
no
on my nail.
no. A man with colored nails, all I see is a red flag. That's all I
Well,
see.
you
But
talking about changing tires, so this affects everybody. That's all. I mean, and I'm not picking on them, but I'm just trying to imagine this in a realistic perspective in the environment that I live in.
it's not going to be really hard to imagine because it's going to take shape right in front of your face really soon. It's not going to be hard to imagine because it's not far off. It's not going to be hard.
Well, to
It's
your point, I think today, matter of fact, Juice and I've been working my air. Man, my air was out for 3 days. I got an old unit, but let me tell you how much money I saved. It probably would have cost me $800 to get done. I had to change out a fan, had to change out a solenoid, had to buy a fan. We got that thing done, I think right under $200 did we use.
Yes, sir.
Because again, just like you guys, uh, I was raised to do stuff. How do you deal with these single family homes? When I think about the data, when I think about 70% of the young boys today are born in an unwed mother single family home. Uh, these were they're breeding prison inmates. The only thing these boys know how to do is breaking cars. So you're telling me that there are also going to be casualties in this situation?
absolutely, absolutely, yeah, absolutely it is.
Let's
Um,
play this video real quick, y'all.
okay, play
Hold
the
it right
video.
there for a second. Thanks for the update. Thanks for the information. Thanks for the insight. Again, y'all are joining us here today on the July 3rd. We have the 4th of July tomorrow. And the guys are joining us here at the Urban Matters Matter live chat. We got the whole crew in here. We have the distinguished men, the professor, and also Brother Reginald Slim, HP's finest. These guys are some upcoming voices you're going to be hearing in our community here in Florida, the Dirty South area. And I'm your gracious host, Dr. Juwce, and this is a black grassroots black media outlet, and we literally just drop hot facts on this channel. If you don't like to hear the truth, you probably don't want to keep tuning into this channel because this is the only way you're going to get your information because we control the narrative here. We don't like all that other media narratives. This is alternative media, and we're giving folks an alternative source or an alternative resolution for getting their media. And so we're going to play this video what Brother Reginald came across, and he said it was very disturbing. And he's going to finish breaking down the whole idea behind the new currency reset. There's about to be something. Y'all go look this up. Gesara. You spell that Nesara, Gesara. Nasara Gesara. This is actually, I think it was a bill that the Congress put together in 1990, I believe 1998, but the bill never made it on the floor. But it's called Nasara Jasara, and it's basically a global currency reset. they already knew that the U.S. dollar was in turmoil. It was about to fail. The Federal Reserve System. Also, they're trying to implement now all these cryptocurrencies and digital currencies, CBDC. Okay, we're going to play the video, and it's going to kind of break down what these other nations are doing to try to get themselves pivoting off of the U.S. dollar, the dependency of the U.S. dollar. So let's see if we can put this on, fellas. Let me make sure I got the screen share. Okay, let's see. Make sure we got the screen share. I think we got it now. Here we go. We're going to play it. And Brother Reginald, when it stops, you just come back in and chime in on what we're saying. Matter of fact, you could just narrate on us what we're seeing right here. Here we go.
Okay.
Has chosen not to the partnership with Saudi Arabia officially said bye-bye. The Crown Prince bin Salman has chosen not to renew the partnership with the United States, opting instead to open Saudi oil trade to other countries and other currencies. Saudi Arabia officially said bye-bye. The Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman has chosen not to renew the partnership with the United States, opting instead Saudi oil trade to other countries and other currencies. Hello, China. Hello, Russia. I mean, holy smokes, guys. I mean,
can y'all hear me, Brother Red?
How big a deal this is. This is a massive blow to the status of the U.S. dollar as the world's only reserve currency, a position it has held for 5 decades. Now, we've been warning for months that this was about to happen, with Saudi Arabia now joining China's central bank digital currency project. We are witnessing.
Can y'all hear me, boss?
Yes, I can
Professor,
hear you.
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. And I also heard the video.
Brother Red, can you hear me? You did hear the video.
I did hear the video.
I couldn't hear the video. Let's try it one more time.
And it
Let's try it one
sounded
more
like there was
time.
latency in the network.
Yeah, let me see. Okay. That may be what happened. Let's see.
For months that this was about to happen, with Saudi Arabia and China's central bank witnessing a seismic shift in the landscape of global trade and global finance. The era of the U.S. dollar as the sole U.S. dollar dominance is now over. Something seismic happened on June 10th and the 11th at the BRICS Foreign Ministers meeting. 59 new countries announced plans to join, and during the meeting they agreed to an astonishing $78 billion in bilateral trade deals. They publicly announced plans to ditch the U.S. dollar also at this meeting for local currencies in cross-border transactions. They made this announcement. We're done. We're done using the U.S. dollar. This is game over, folks. President Biden and Russia have turned U.S. pressure.
You're really right. That's the reserve currency because it's a haven, because it's a stable country. It's the most stable country in the world, and we are.
This system seeks to eliminate the global dominance of the U.S. dollar, creating a payment system using local currencies that is free from a totally different world over the next few years.
No, I didn't read. I did not.
For 5 decades. Now, we've been warning for months.
Very interesting. Very weird. Very cringy. Says reconnecting now. On. back now. Now, get back. I don't know what happened. That was very cringy.
You got me now?
Can you hear me, Red? Yeah, I got you.
Yeah,
I
can you
was
hear
very
me?
cringy, man. Yes, I
Yeah,
can.
you might have to play that. You might have to play that thing again, man, because it broke up. I don't know what was going on.
Let's see if we can play it one more time. Like Professor said, we kind of lost a little signal there a little bit.
Well, there was a little
Professor,
latency.
can you
There was a
hear us?
little latency, and one of the things you have to keep in mind. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I can
Can
hear
you hear
you.
me? Right. So
Yeah.
you always have to keep in mind when we do these things, we're running across the network, and all networks ain't created equal, and you're going to have latency that's going to affect that. So it's what it is. We're riding the wave.
And then another thing, I think it'd be
Wow.
someone in the background trying to slow the program down. That's what I think.
Yeah. I've seen that happen too, my brother.
Yeah, we call them haters on the street.
Arabia officially
I've
says
seen that
bye-bye.
happen. Got something
Every
now.
time you try
Prince
to play
Mohammed bin
this,
Salman has chosen not
Can
to
y'all
renew
hear?
the partnership.
yeah, see, it's breaking up though. Every time you try to play this, it breaks up. Somebody throwing salt in the game.
A good way to test that is play some goofy shit.
This is not hyperbole.
Yeah, Juice, try to play something
U.S.
else.
dollar dominance
Play some
Oh,
is
here it is.
shit.
now
Watch it pop
over.
right.
Seismic happened on June 10th.
Okay. Let me see. Hold on. I'll give him a minute.
You see, it says 59 new countries have joined BRICS. 59 new countries have joined.
Yeah, you can still narrate, Red. You can still narrate.
Yeah, but what this is saying is
You can definitely
it's
still.
a conglomerate of other countries together dominate the United States. That's their main goal,
My
is
mouse
to
is
extinguish the light
moving.
supposed to be on the hill.
I got plenty good signal.
I think you're catching some interference from somewhere, Juice. I think you're catching some interference from somewhere, my brother.
So nephew.
Yes, sir.
That's crazy, man.
So how can somebody like me from across the highway, I'm across the highway, how can someone like me internalize that? And it sounds like I need to prepare myself.
Oh, absolutely. You better. Yeah.
So how do I go about doing that?
I don't know. I'm not sure if you have or will, but I would, if I was someone, if I was someone else, I would go and I'd create me a TikTok account, and TikTok has unfiltered, unadulterated information. And on the TikTok shop, they have a lot of survival kits and how to they got these kits on how to get river water and make it into drinking water. They got, like I said, the herbal remedies books. They got all these different type of things where you can order from this TikTok shop to be prepared for this apocalypse that's coming. So that would be one way I think you could probably look at it and make some type of an adjustment on your life to get ready for what's coming. I'm not saying being a doomsday advocate, but I'm telling you, it's not going to be pretty, man. It's not. So I think see what's going to have to happen, Professor Vos. It's going to take like-minded men to come together and unite for the common goal. See, this whole country was started and created upon division. And see, that's the whole thing that's been going on for these last 500 years. They stick division in everything, so we can't come together to fight the true enemies. So what's it going to take? It's going to take people like you, me, Juice, maybe like Chill Wheel, people like that. We don't have to have everything simultaneously mentally aligned, but we have to have a semblance of a semblance of some type of coherency, cohesion together, so we can come together and survive. They always say it takes a village. It's really gonna take a village.
But I got another question for you then, nephew. Think about this for a minute. Are you with me?
I hear you.
So think about this. I want to give you a scenario, and this is a typical Black American situation. All right.
Okay.
So based on everything you said, hypothetically, you and me, Methodist, I'm Baptist, and Juice Holiness, he Pentecostal Holiness. And we all have a different pathway to go to heaven. I'm Baptist, so I'm saying you got to immerse yourself in the water. You got to be fully submerged in the water to see Christ, to go to heaven, wherever you're gonna go. Then you saying that all I got to do is believe. Juice going around putting oil on somebody's head. So how do we collaborate in the situation that you just presented, when we all have different beliefs and we all interpret the Bible differently like that? How does that work, nephew?
There's only one way I can explain it to you, and this is for everybody. Just for Black people, I'm not speaking for anybody else. I don't know who's else watching, what other nationality, whatever, who's watching, but this is for Black people. What we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to push that religion stuff to the side and link up for survival. That religion stuff is all based in currency and money and assets. It's all currency based. That's all religion is. Religion is another way to clean money. So with there not being any money, with this dollar getting ready to fail, we're not going to have access to money anyway. So we're going to have to go back to the old system where we have to barter and trade to make stuff happen. And that's basically how we built Black Wall Street. We came together and we bartered with each other, we traded, and we worked together. That's how Black Wall Street got built up. And like places like Lake Lanier, which they flooded, Ocoee, Florida, Tulsa, Oklahoma, all the places where they had even New York, Central Park was a Black business. It was another Wall Street in Central Park. So what we got to do is we got to get out of this Jesus mindset. I know it don't sound good for Black people because that's what we know. That's what we've been taught. There's no entity that's going to crack the sky and come and save our Black behinds. So we're gonna have to put the work in and work together,
Absolutely.
be cohesive. That's what we have to do. And notice, how right there in Lake Wales we see all these shootings and stuff happens. And what do everybody say? Oh, thoughts and prayers to that family. So if thoughts and prayers were the driving force behind stopping some of these atrocities, why does another one happen after we give all these thoughts and prayers? So what I want us to do, what I need us to do is to come together. I'm not saying that your beliefs ain't valid or or legitimate. I'm just saying it's time for us to come together and for the common goal and finally put us first. And whatever your beliefs in, whatever you believe in, you can believe in that, but see,
Like
see,
Malcolm X said, keep your religion in the closet at home.
a lot of us black people, we will not relinquish this Jesus idea. So what we got to do is we got to come together, and we got to let that push to the side, because
Let me
Jesus
ask you a
ain't.
question, Brother Red.
What's
So,
that?
do you think Jesus can save us from this financial transition that's about to take place?
Juice, man, listen to me good, man. I can, and I have to put this in perspective. I'm gonna go off what my experience is. I can remember vividly when I was 3 years old. My grandma used to say, "Jesus is coming back soon." 3 years old. I got to 4, 5, 10, 15, 20 years
Hmm.
old,
Hmm.
30. I still they
Interesting.
kept saying Jesus coming back real soon. So
Interesting.
I'm 55 now. Uh, where the hell he at? Where's he at? You know, uh, my grandma's passed on, and she still didn't get this in. You see what I'm saying? So we
Yes.
we gotta we gotta come out of this religious mind frame and think about what's best for our people. And over for the past 400 years, Jesus ain't been what's best for our people, bro. And it's proven. It's
Mm.
look at all the scandals in church. Even just think about the Catholic Church, and all the statues and everything that they have. It's all about something perverted. You know, if you really look at all those statues, from
Mm.
in the Vatican and all of that stuff, it's all
Well, let me
perverted
ask you a
anyway.
question. I mean, now you know how people is now. You
Well,
try to
I'm just giving them the truth,
you
man.
try to take Jesus from them, boy. They gonna be ready to
and and and, and
take
Juice.
cut your throat, boy.
But I'm gonna tell you this: the ones that won't relinquish it are gonna be the first ones to perish. You need me to say that again?
Say that again.
The people who will not relinquish this Jesus idea are gonna be the first people to perish, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because they're gonna be sitting in a spot doing this, and people like me, you, and Boss, we gonna be out moving around, shaking, making stuff happen. Because listen to this:
Wow.
anytime we get together and we want to build something, we don't wait for Jesus. We don't wait for him. What we do is we go out and make happen what we need to make happen. So I'm not trying to rain on nobody parade that's religious. That's not what I'm trying to do. What I'm saying is we have to put our mindset in front of all of this stuff that's about to happen. We gotta have some type of foresight, is what I'm saying.
So let me
And
ask you a question.
religion.
So
Okay.
what's going to be the difference in how this is going to affect the black community versus any other communities or groups in America? This whole
Well,
transformation, and you notice they're trying to rush this digital currency out, Bitcoin. I got in a let me just break this down one time. Let me just share this with the family. One of my closest buddies. We grew up together. And so he claims he went to school for all this financial education, but he's always talking about the education that the Anglo-Saxon institutions give us is somewhat flawed and somewhat miseducated, right? So he was talking about Bitcoin, and we got to talking about China, and I kept telling him that China has two currencies. They have what they call the renminbi currency, and then they got another currency called the Chinese yuan. So the yuan is what they use offshore, and the renminbi is what they use onshore. So you can't really buy or exchange goods in the currency called the renminbi. So we got to discussing the terms of Bitcoin. And I told him that Bitcoin was a Ponzi scheme. I remember when Bitcoin first hit the ground, and a lot of the bankers was trying to act like, oh, it'll never work, it'll never work, it'll never work, it'll never work. And now the bankers are the number one people behind it, pushing it. You got the CBDC, which stands for the Central Bank Digital Currency, CBDC. And so everybody is trying to put their form of digital currency out to try to persuade the people that, hey, don't worry about the dollar. Don't worry about actual legal tender that you can actually put your hands on and you can touch. I always heard this. I do a lot of financial research, and one of the saying is a lot of the financial gurus, people who know you know, they say if you can't touch it, you don't own it. And so that's one of the going forward sayings. So we got this discussion in Bitcoin, and I was like, okay, so the Bitcoin goes up in value, it goes down in value. I'm like, bro, do this make any sense? I may come back to the country 2 years from now, and I had 80,000 Bitcoins. You're telling me now when I come back to the country, I only got 40,000 Bitcoins and I didn't spend anything, all because the prices are manipulated? I say, bro, let me ask you another question. So why are you getting into cryptocurrencies? Why are you dealing with Bitcoin and such things like FedCoin? They got all types of currencies out here now. They got why are you dealing with Bitcoin and so what I asked him, I say, listen. So say for instance, right, you're getting into Bitcoin and different cryptocurrency because you're scared of the US dollar. The US dollar is fluctuating, it's losing its value. So you go and start exchanging Bitcoin. I said that the thing about Bitcoin, everybody doesn't accept it. Can you go buy a house with Bitcoin? Can you go to the grocery store with Bitcoin? Right now, Red, you need to go up to Kroger's. Can you go take Bitcoin and go buy, food out of there? Can you go buy camping supplies? Can you? So what does that mean? It's just on screen it looks good. So I asked him, I say, so the main reason you're getting into Bitcoin because you're trying to get off of the US dollar, right? I say, so when you get all your Bitcoin saved up and you get ready to exchange, what are you exchanging for? You see how quiet they got just then? Crickets. The US dollar. So what was the point? What was the purpose?
Well, all right, Juwce, let me tell you this, man. I was messing around on Cash App one day, and the Bitcoin thing popped up. I say, you know what? Let me play with it for a little while. I put a couple dollars over there, and in like maybe 3 weeks, my money almost had bottomed out. So I let it sit there. I didn't mess with it.
Sucked it up.
And I just went about my life as usual. And in about a month and a half, it rose back up and past where I started at, and it almost doubled, and I cashed out. So
there you go. That's smart.
It's almost to me, it's like virtual reality. That's all it is, Juwce.
Sell high, buy low. That's the concept.
It's a virtual reality currency. That's all it is. It's behind the scene, someone's pulling the strings. You see what I'm saying? So just look at it that way.
Absolutely.
Bit like you say, it's a Ponzi scheme. It's a pyramid scheme. That's all it is. That's all it is.
It's literally like a full-time job, bro. You gotta monitor this shit like 24/7, bro. It's like a full-time job because I remember one day I was doing some trading, and I was trading the U.S. dollar versus the Canadian dollar. I was killing their ass, bro. I was up like 54%. I was killing their ass, bro. I promise you, bro. I went and fixed my coffee, went to the bathroom, came back, bro. I got wiped out in like 30 seconds. And then, I don't know if anybody's familiar with trading. You got something that they call the stop loss, right? You set your price at where you want to stop losing. Yo, that shit hit that stop loss so hard and went across that shit. And I'm like, yo, man, how the fuck I own y'all now? But, bro, it's all manipulation, bro. It's a manipulation. It's numbers on the screen, digits on the screen. You're doing computer trading. You're trading against the AI, or they call them the market makers. And these people control everything, man. So chime in on that, brother.
Juice.
Let's get back to that. Let's don't get too far from that.
I won't.
Bricks.
But if you really think about it, what are our how do our senators and congressmen make money? I'm gonna let you answer that question. How do they make money?
Lobby.
No.
They make their
I'm
money
talking
from
about
lobbyists and
how do they make their real
inside
money?
trading? Inside trading.
Thank you. They got the inside track on all of this. So you what we're really doing is if we messing with stocks and stuff, we really fighting against people that got an inside track on everything anyway. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is I agree with you 100%. Because I used a app called what was it called? Robinhood, a trading app called Robinhood.
Yeah, I know Robinhood. Crashes like every damn 60 days.
No, mine would never crash. Mine would never crash. It'll maybe drop maybe 5 to 8 to 10%, but it'll always come back up. It'll always come back up. And I got into a little turmoil, with some stuff, like everybody do. So I think I invested like maybe 1,000, and I cashed out around 8. Within 2 years, I cashed
so
out
break
around
this down
8.
to the family, man. I mean, are you telling me, Brother Reginald, that there's a form of alternative investing out there besides a 9-to-5 job?
Absolutely.
I mean, professors all the time trying to tell us about digital transformation and how that AI and different digital tools is the new currency. And our folks are just stuck on a 9-to-5 job, 30 years, put in retirement. And I think a lot of our baby boomers generations are finding out that, hey, somebody lied, somebody dropped the ball, and they're not able to make ends meet with their retirements now. They got to go. A lot of these people are going back to work. A lot of these people, like I told my dad one day, I said, Pop, just imagine if you would have took your in retirement and start and open up another business. For some odd reason, we have the understanding that when you retire, that means just that you get your 30 years and then you just sit on your ass for the next 20 years until you croak. Is that logical? Is that a logical concept for financing? For
Retirement,
for maturity?
retirement is it's a scam too, bro. Because
It's a scam. Gotta be.
if you really think about it, I used to watch this podcast, and this guy used to say, you will need $2.6 million saved up to live comfortably in these upcoming next 20 to 30 years in your retirement. There's not too many hardworking American people that's got $2.6 million saved up. See, a lot of us, we look at it as we have some type of a safety net, but with the way this government is volatile, we have no safety net. Like I work, I work a 9-to-5, but I'm a salaried employee. So even if I don't go to work, I call in or something, I still get paid. But with my retirement, I'm not going to have enough money to live comfortably. Let's just say I retire today. I'm not going to have enough money to live comfortably until the day I pass away. So if I don't have a secondary or a third stream of income, some type of way, another stream of income coming in, I could very well find myself living on the street. And that's going to be the reality for a lot of Americans, especially Black people. It's going to be our reality, bro.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I was going to let the professor chime in on that because I know he's always checking in with me about the effects on the Black community. And that's one thing about the professor and myself. We're always concerned with, I don't know why we love Black people so much, but I guess we just do. We ain't going to give up on them, Professor. We're going to keep hashing away. We're going to keep loving them. And we just have a
It's
soft
all
spot for
love,
Black
bro.
people.
It's all love, bro. It's all love.
Yeah. And I mean, I want to see us win, man. I'm tired of us taking the L, man. And that's why I do this a lot of time. Professor, are you there? Can you hear me? I don't think we can
We
hear
can't
you,
hear you.
Professor.
We can't hear you. You on mute.
Hit your mute button, Professor.
You're on mute.
Let's see. See if I can get him back.
Well, Juice, you got to do something because I can't hear him.
I sure can't hear him.
We can't hear you.
Can't hear you, Professor. I don't know what happened, bro. Almost we got some janky signals going on up there in the A. He gonna come back in. Let's see if we can get him to come back in. Listen, we chopping up some hot fire, man. Like you said earlier, they will censor your ass when you trying to drop this type of knowledge. See, we don't understand the powers that shouldn't be. A lot of these powers that shouldn't be, they have control over these airwaves.
Can you hear me
You there,
now?
Professor?
Yeah, we got
Yes,
you
sir.
now.
We can
We
hear
got
you.
you now.
Yeah. So, nephew, I wanted to go back to a few things that you were saying, okay, about cost of living and everything. And we kind of talked a little bit about passports. One of the things that I'm looking at, because I'm starting my life over again at 60 now that I'm an empty nester. And like right now, my daughter's in Southeast Asia, okay? And I teach in Vietnam. And my daughter was showing me, and she will publish soon, there are places that my daughter's been staying at that in Atlanta, $500 a night, easy. They paying $30 a night. My daughter got her nails done the other night. She got a pedicure and a manicure on the beach in Thailand for $6.
See, I was close.
They live in. They showed me a luxury hotel that matter of fact, I'm on my way down to the coast of Alabama. Them hotels going for $600 a night. My daughter said, "Daddy, now this hotel right here is $50 and it's kind of a little pricey." Nephew, they eating 3 course. They eating a full course meal for $3. You can rent a moped and ride all over the place for $5 all day. So what I'm saying is, point number one, we have to recognize that we're global citizens. Okay, we're global citizens, and you're really not restricted to the United States unless you're a felon, unless you owe child support and you got some arrears, and they've canceled you, they suspended your driving license and suspended your passport. You can't leave. But outside of that, if you're not a criminal, you can travel anywhere. You can be dual citizen just like I do. There you go. You see, so when I think about a strategy,
And I'm a convicted felon.
you see what I'm saying? So
I'm
what
a
I'm
convicted
saying is,
felon.
one of the things that I want to preach is that you're a global citizen, bro. Okay, and as a black man, you don't have to be. You can live here. For instance, I live here. The majority of my money is made overseas. I teach college overseas.
So why not live overseas?
Yeah, I mean, not only that though, you can go back and forth. There's nothing. What I'm saying is, I want to get my folks to start thinking about that. You're not limited to this local issues that are around you all today. We live in a flat world. Back in 2003, I taught a course at Shorter College. Okay, that course was managing the global workforce, and this is when globalization started happening. In fact, this was right after Y2K. If you remember, the sky was going to fall, and unless we, the sky was going to fall unless we converted all of these systems. And I'll try to give you a 3-minute lecture on that. So this is when outsourcing started happening, okay? Because when we were doing the conversion, we were paying American programmers $95 an hour, and we were running out of time. See, you talk about these Mexicans coming here working for free, but you don't talk about the cheap labor that's in the IT business. So we brought cheap labor from India to get the codes done, get all that code converted. Now, them folks so good, they didn't even have to be here to do it. That's where you get the back office work from now. So what I'm saying to you is that you got to look at this whole thing globally now and don't get caught up into your local issues. That's another strategic way of dealing with the things that you're talking about. I'm subjected to that. I'm subjected to that. I don't think about it. A black professor don't have academic freedom in America. I could care less if I ever taught in America again. There you go. See? There you go. So you're going to have to start using the power that you have. I talk about this all the time. You need to go over there and find out and meet and network with your cousins in Africa, in Brazil, and all these other places where they have really more. Brazil got more black people than America. And these people, you're going to have to network. You're going to have to tap into natural resources. The struggle is that we've been conditioned to operate within inside the United States. I just made a post where it was 18, let me look at it again, I need to look at it, 1862, 18, they wasn't even giving out passports to black people. Hold on, what year is that? Let me look at it. 1862. Slavery ended in 1865. Okay? They said before, I'm going to read it right quick, nephew. And I'm glad y'all showed your passports. I'm going to read this to you. It said, I just wrote this. It says that before 1862, the federal government of the United States did not recognize free blacks as citizens of the United States. Okay? This denial of citizenship also extended to the issues of passport. So you couldn't even go nowhere. You weren't even recognized as a human being. So now it's a new day. There's a reason for that. There was a reason why you was denied that. You at the time, when I say you at the time, our people didn't have the luxury of making connections. There you go. We didn't have the luxury of making the connections outside of the United States. So all I'm saying to you, with all of these things that you're talking about today, with the BRICS, with these other cultures, bro, you're a global citizen. You're a global citizen. And that right there, as a black man, is very powerful because now, again, you can network with your cousins. These people are telling you, they're talking about your cousin, talking about your cousin live in a shithole. Them your people. You understand? They're telling you that you shouldn't interact with your family. You shouldn't interact with your cousin. All your cousins live in a shithole. See, I tell you, you take, for instance, Nigerians. They're your cousins. We need to look at these different models that are working. When you look at Nigerian success rate, when you look at their academic, when you look at their family structure, okay, it works. It's working. When you look at the whole Yoruba religion, how we're connected to our ancestors, how they're so integrated into family. You got to start thinking global. The world is flat. The supply chain is flat. Travel is flat. You can go anywhere, anytime. So we need to start teaching our boys the fact that they have the ability to live outside of their local environment and not get caught up into the local stuff. All you're doing is incarcerating yourself.
I talked to Juice about this the other day. This is what they always taught us in this country, that America is the greatest country on the planet. But I've had several instances in the past 5 years where I've gone to the Bahamas, I've gone to Aruba, just on cruises and stuff. I've gone to different islands, Carousel, and I've seen some different things. I even went to Puerto Rico. So I just want our people to understand that how can we have a conscious conversation about this being the greatest place on the earth when we have nothing to compare it to? See, I was talking to Juice about this also, Voss. This country tells us that Putin is a murderer and a criminal, but last time I checked, I did some research. They don't have no dirty streets. They don't have no homeless people in Russia. There's no home. Look it up, Voss. If you think I'm lying, look it up. There's no homeless people in Russia. No homeless people. None.
All right. But check this out. Here's what freaked me out when I was doing my research in Europe. I was meeting all these I was down in Belgium. I was meeting these African hackers. I mean, I'm talking about they were hired hackers for Belgium, NATO and all of this kind of stuff. Blew me away. I said, well, where'd you get your training from? You know where they got their training from?
Russia.
Yeah. So we've made, check this out. So Russia trained the Nigerians to hack us. That's why you have all of these, these Nigerian scams and all this kind of stuff. Russia hide behind that. Every African cybersecurity professional that I met in Europe was trained by Russia, bro.
Wow. So, but what I'm saying is, Voss, we got to stop thinking that America is the shining light on the hill, because it's not. It's not, bro. Honestly, it's not. Like you say, the world is our oyster now. See, so like you say, it's flat now. And honestly, in all honesty, it's condensed. It's smaller than what we think.
The world is flat.
It's not as broad as we think it is. You see what I'm saying? It's smaller because we have more access to it. anything you have more access to condenses it. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Yes,
The
sir.
more access you have to something, the smaller it becomes.
Now check this out, nephew, and watch this, because I have to use myself as an example as well as I've done with you guys. And here's where I am, and I don't mind sharing this to the world, man. Did y'all drop? Where you at, Dr.
No,
Juwce?
we still here. I'm still
All
here.
right, yeah. Well, I'm looking at all these different. We got all this technology. Sometimes I get confused. But check this out, nephew. Everybody black that you know who we think is famous, and I can go down the list. Now watch this move. James Baldwin, Herbie Hancock, Tina Turner, name them. She won't even come back. Jimmy Hendrix, all these great people. Guess what they had to do, nephew, before they blew up. When you talk about this country,
They had to leave.
they had to go to Europe, and the Europeans had to embrace them first before America accepted them. So
Wow.
So that's where I am at professionally right now. Now you watch this, and I wanted to go on record. I got to go teach in Europe. I got to go teach Vietnamese, who I love. I had to go all down in Belgium. I had to go all around the Netherlands and Holland and Amsterdam. And hopefully, one day, I might blow up in America. I don't know yet. I know I'm blowing up in Europe, but this is what we had to do as black scholars, black professionals. So yeah, I serve my country. I serve my country.
You're the most hated. You're the most hated.
But I'm hated. But I got to go to Europe
to get
I got
love.
to go to Europe before my own country that I serve accept me as a scholar practitioner in my field with a PhD.
Wow.
Make that make sense?
Voss, the way I look at it, man, is this country has never embraced us. You know, and I'm gonna take it one step further. If you look at all the black celebrities, the black athletes that has got all these multi-million, hundreds of $1 million contracts, they got all this money. And Juwce can attest to this because we talked about it. They have a clause and a stipulation in their contracts where if they reach back and help their community, the community they came from, it'll be stripped from them. Look at Bill Cosby. Dr. Umar got a video out about the reason they stripped him of his money is because his house was sitting on top of an oil depository, and he didn't want to sell. And they, just think about it now. You drug and raped a white woman 40 years ago and she didn't say nothing. Come on now, make that make sense. Make that make sense. These white women waited 40 years to come out and say he did this.
Let me tell you about white women, because that's doing my time. 40 years ago, almost 45 years now, I graduated from high school. That's all they talked about. I need a looter, man. They were doing looters, they were doing acid, they were doing all that right there in Lake Wales, bro.
No, but what I'm saying is, we have to look at it, even the celebrities that from Lake Wales that we had. We had Lorenzo Hampton, Amari Stoudemire. You can kind of pinpoint on one hand, the things that they reached back to the community and done. And don't get me wrong now. I'm not trying to shit on them because of what they didn't do, because in all honesty, that was their money. People do what they want with their money. But
Well,
what I'm trying,
I get that, nephew, but let me make a point about that. I've had Mexicans work for me on my ranch nearly 30 years. I've never, ever paid a Mexican, and he didn't want me to stop by Western Union so that he could send some money home after I paid him. I've never had a Mexican not do that, ever.
Voss, what we got to understand is, bro, this thing is bigger than us, because it's been put into us from the plantation to hate each other. You know, I grew up right there in Highland Park, you know, but you know I'm from Washington and Ohio Street. You know, that's where I was born at. But I grew up in Highland Park, and around the mid 80s, they put a trailer park out there, and a lot of Mexicans moved out there. It'd be like 10 Mexicans in one trailer, and you know they go pick fruit. You'll see a car one week, and then a couple more weeks, 2-3 more cars pop up. They work together, and this is what Black people don't do. We don't work together, and we're all selfish. We all for self. And it's been indoctrinated into us, and I'm just gonna be honest. It stems from the biblical stuff, and because in the Bible we're taught to be submissive to the slave master. That it's in the Bible. You know, I don't know. I don't got the verse on hand, but we can all look it up.
I know where it is. It's in
you know,
Ephesians.
we can all look it up.
Love your master as you would Christ.
With reverence, as you would Christ. It says with reverence and with fear. We're supposed to be some, yeah. So
submissive to Christ.
But it's what it did was it indoctrinated us to be super subservient to white people. That's what it did. It made us inferior and made them superior. That's why they call it white supremacy. You see? When in all actuality, it's actually in reverse, because we're superior in everything. We're stronger, we're faster, we're better looking, we're more intelligent.
Somebody sent me
I'm
a
just
message.
saying.
Somebody sent me a message earlier today, because I made it publicly known that, you know, I'm protesting. I don't mind, you know, I'm not afraid like a lot of folks. And of course, I had somebody Black say, "Well, your protest is ridiculous." Now I want to ask you, I want to ask you this, nephew, and maybe I missed something. Maybe I missed something, but I have to depend on you young people, you know, make sure I ain't missed nothing. But did I miss anything in terms of what impact or what will Black people? I ain't talking about, you know, anybody else but Black people, because we had a unique experience in this country, and we need unique policies and strategies for our condition now. So in all of that was said on either side of this civil war that's being fought, was there anything that I missed that was going to impact us positively? I know they talked about Black jobs, but I don't remember none of them, not either candidate, either party say anything about Black business or capital, or I know we've been talking reparations. Did I miss anything, nephew?
Here, I'm gonna play a video for you, okay? I want y'all to listen to this video. Hold on. It's gonna put it in perspective. Give me just a second.
And then, you know, is it is that they're so used to us protesting.
Hey guys, Cousin Carl here.
Hold
Angie
on.
Fly, excellent video. Down to all the black men, all the black grandsons, all the
Hold
black
on.
husbands.
Hold on just a second.
Hey guys, Cousin Carl here. Angie Fly, excellent video. Down to all the black men, all the black grandsons, all the black husbands. Do you remember the George Floyd crime bill? What happened to that? All you black sons and grandsons, I want you to remember the 1994 Violence Against Women, also known as the 1994 Omnibus Crime Bill, stop and free, 3 strikes you're out, and the Violence Against Women Act that allowed women to falsely accuse you of SA and DV. Personally, I don't care who you vote for, but remember your ancestors and how they fought and died for your right to vote. Wasn't it not so long ago that it was black men's fault that Stacey Abrams didn't get elected? Black men have to ask, in the last 50 years of civil rights legislation, what has actually changed? For black men and the black community, your vote seems to last only up until election day. It's time to change that.
What do you think?
I mean, it makes all the sense in the world to me. So everybody, so here's what gets me, nephew. Everybody's allowed to protest. You know, you got people with the signs, you got people doing all kind of protests. But when I come out and say, this is how I want to protest, I don't want to go downtown Atlanta and loot. I don't want to go downtown Atlanta and throw bricks, and I don't want to burn police cars. I respect the law enforcement. Okay? I respect law. I'm law enforcement. I don't want to protest that way.
I saw you with Andre Brunson. I saw it.
Well, yeah, I work for the sheriff now. I work for
I
the
know.
black sheriff.
I know.
So I have and then I'm ex-military.
You,
I respect.
you got my respect. You got my respect.
I respect the military. I serve my country, and I serve my country so that I could have the right and the freedom to do what the hell I want to do. So why is it that when I decide that I want to protest the way I want to protest, and because my vote is the only thing that you want, and I look at my vote as the same way women look at their bodies. Okay?
My vote, my choice.
No finance, no romance, bro.
Oh,
How about that?
I like that.
Ain't that what the females say? Correct me if I'm wrong. I heard so many, because I've been broke a long time. No, bro. No finance, no romance. That's what I'm saying. So why do I get criticized? Because I don't want to give my coochie vote up.
Because you're a black man. That's why.
And
that's exactly why.
My protest is ridiculous, but they don't say that about anybody else protesting.
Well, okay.
Why can't I protest, bro?
Let me put it in a better perspective for you. Ever notice you got plenty of businesses going, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
How many white people do you do business with?
I do both. I do more. You know what? I do business with a lot of white people. I do business with a lot of people, but I do business with a lot of white people.
I'm saying specifically white people right now. How many? Just throw a random number out. How many white people you do business with? Just throw a random number out.
I mean, in the hundreds. I do business with.
Okay,
a lot of white people.
That's cool. That's cool. Let's say 250.
Can y'all hear me, guys?
Out of all those people, how many ask you for a discount or the hookup?
No, white people pay me extra because I stack wood. I'm an old black man.
You ain't see that coming, did you?
Yeah, and I be moving slow for the white people. I'm an old black man selling wood. No, I move slow for the white people, but they pay me.
I threw you a curveball right there. You didn't see it coming.
No.
Huh? You didn't see it coming.
No.
Now, how many black people you do business with? Throw a number out.
About the same. I mean, I do a lot of business with a lot of white people.
Now, how many of them black folks, Voss man, I'm slacking a little bit this month, man. Can you help me out? How many?
I won't. There's a lot. I won't criticize that, and let me tell you why.
I'm not saying to criticize it, but I'm just making a point.
Right, and you're right. I have quite a few, but here's the difference. I barter with black people more than I barter with white people because I understand our condition.
And that's what we need. See, that's what I was trying to get to y'all earlier. See how I brought that back around? We need to get back to bartering with our people so we don't need to hook up. We don't need a discount. We need to get back to bartering with our people.
Exactly. I found out what's valuable to you. You know, the guy worked on my air conditioning today. I was like, bro, you barbecuing? Or I had one of my folk that I do business with. You know, if you black, we go, because guess what? That's what other cultures do. And let me just bring that up. Let me just do 2 minutes of that right quick.
Okay, cool.
Let me do 2 minutes of that, or 3. So I study cultures. The Indian culture fascinates me. When I travel by myself, I stay in these Indian hotels, okay? And let me tell you about that model. It's 3 things that make them people successful, and it ain't them getting money from the government, all right? The first thing is, yes, sir.
We got you.
The first thing is, them people hire number of family. Patel and them. Patel, he the general manager of the hotel. The daughter, she working at the front desk. The boys, they the maintenance men. And the mama and the sisters, they do room service and they the maids. They don't hire outside of that, number 1. Number 2, nephew, them people do handshake deals. When the last time you did a handshake deal with a black man about money?
You really can't, because the honor system isn't there with us anymore.
I get it. I'm gonna go on. Let me do one more. The third thing is, those people are under the Hindu religion. Now, again, I don't do religion, but the point that I was trying to make is that, as Dr. Juwce would say, they were all on code under that religion. So it's those 3 things where those people are winning. They hire family, they do handshake deal loans, and they all on code. How you gonna beat that, nephew?
Let me ask you this. I don't know if you've ever been to a Chinese restaurant. You ever been to a Chinese restaurant?
Man, I love Chinese food.
Now think about this. Have you ever looked in the kitchen when you were there?
Yeah.
What do you see in the kitchen? What kind of people you see in the kitchen?
Chinese with Mexican help.
And see, what I'm saying is, these people, they keep everything in house. You know, they may hire out a few people, but you're not gonna see no black person back there.
Oh no! On one condition now. No. Hold on now. If they deep in the hood, they'll hire a black person. No, this is Atlanta, bro.
I get it.
They gonna hire somebody black to deal with you.
Oh, thank you.
Because you know how y'all are when y'all come in and start on their own. So they'll hire somebody to deal with you.
But here's my point. The dollar lasts in the white community like 32. $1 circulate by 32 days in the white community.
Yes, sir.
In the like Chinese, I think it's around like 22, something like that. Even the Hispanic, it's probably somewhere like 12 days. You know how long a dollar circulates in the black community? Do you know how long?
As soon as we can run to the mall and buy some tennis shoes, that usually take a couple hours.
6 hours.
Right. Just like I said, just enough
6
time to get to the
hours.
mall to buy some tennis shoes.
Think about that. You went from 32 days down to 6 hours with us.
Yes.
And see, people don't understand this. That means we would, and I'm gonna bring you back full circle right here. I saw a post where this black kid was back in the 50s was drinking out the white water fountain, and I commented on the post and I say, this is the reason why we are where we are right now, because we wouldn't leave them people stuff alone. All we had to do was lead them, let them people have their stuff, and we have our stuff. No, we wanted it. We see, but they Jedi mind tricked us into integration. So now, because we had black gas stations, we had black banks, we had black grocery stores, we had black hospitals, we had black mortgage companies. Where's all that black stuff at now? Where's it at? Where's it at? Because you always say we traded freedom for integration. That's what we did.
Ownership. We own ownership.
We traded ownership for integration.
Yeah.
All we had to do was stay on code. And if you think about it now, with the civil rights movement that pushed the feminist movement, and now with the LGBTQ stuff, all this stuff piggyback off of the civil rights movement. It all piggybacked from that. So it's all been an agenda to take you and me out of the homes of our families. They had to get black men away from their children. That's what they wanted to do, and it worked. It worked effectively. I don't know if you can go online and see stuff, but it's like men that look like me and like you and like Juice. We are the mortal enemies to our own people. I can't hear you, Juice. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
I can't hear you, Juice. Yeah, I got you now.
Can you hear me?
I got you now.
Can you hear me? I don't know what, man, this shit tripping, man. This shit tripping. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
I got you.
And then we done lost Boss, I think. Let me see.
He'll be back.
Yeah, he just went off camera. Okay. Yeah, man, there's some great, interesting points you guys been making, man. I just been letting you guys chop it up, man, and I'm enjoying every minute of it. And we definitely traded integration. We integrated into our nightmares, and we really don't have say so. And so now, when you got guys like us that speak up, right? When we speak up like we're speaking up now, they're gonna demonize us. They're gonna demonize us. They're gonna make us out of the villain. And you definitely are pointing out some interesting factors about the discrepancies and the dysfunction between black families and the male energy versus the female energy inside of the black home. And this is a lot of reason why we're going sideways. And I love what you said. They posted that video about the George Floyd bill. And that's what I'm trying to get a lot of our goofy Negroes that are simply still voting for their own demise with the Democratic Party. I keep telling them, man, just because I point these out, this does not mean that I'm telling you to go vote for the Republicans. I'm not defending the Republicans. I'm just simply saying that what are you getting for your vote? And you got to understand, you got to start voting for tangible resources. Your kids are out here suffering, and you're steady voting their rights away. You're voting their opportunities away. You're voting the resources away. They're giving. Joe Biden just passed another bill this week to allow immigrants to have all types of resources over you. And a lot of times these people can't even vote, man. And I'm just pointing stuff out, man, because it's called neglect. You know how you're in a relationship, or you could just be in a family, and your family neglects you to everybody else they want to praise. Everybody on the goofy shit, they want to praise them, and then the people that's really, chopping away and making some gains and making some some productivity, they're just neglecting you. They're saying, oh, it is, yeah, or Reggie crazy, or Juice crazy, or whatever, whatever. But I love what y'all guys are saying, man. And it's definitely this what this platform is for. We're gonna inform our people, and I see a lot of these people coming out. I'm gonna just tell you right now, man. If you're a black Christian and you vote Democrat, you are the problem, and you are a sinner. You're voting for self hatred. You're voting for self murder. You're voting for murder or abortion, and you're voting for same sex marriages, which all allegedly under the scriptures are an abomination. So it's no way possible. You can't pick and choose which sin you want to turn a blind eye to. That's why y'all can't attract anybody in this whole black Christianity thing, because you won't even obey the laws allegedly. And our brother Carlos, he was giving some great pointers out today about how we pick and choose what we want to abide by when it comes to being righteous. Anybody can be righteous. You don't just need a religion to be righteous. Anybody can be righteous. So it's very interesting, man. I love these pointers you guys are pointing out today, and that's what this platform here at Urban Matters is for, y'all. And these guys right here, man, they do a lot of research. I thank you guys. You guys and Professor, y'all are the ones that make this platform what it is, because y'all go out and get the research. Y'all go out and do the work. Y'all go out and hit the ground running. Y'all go out and point out things. And did you see Joe Biden and Kamala? They on self-destruct this week. Kamala is finding out that the white liberal women, the white liberals who's supposed to be supporting you, they're trying to replace you. And this is what happens when you toe the line for white supremacy. You get your Negro wake up call. You really get your Negro. We already done revoked your Negro pass. You notice how she blacks it up every time when it gets around election? She starts having her sister girl thing going on now. Oh, I'm a sister girl. Hey, she talking about I'm out here in these streets, and she all of this, and I'm talking about she not like us, and all. Oh man, and they bringing out Taraji P Henson, and I heard even 2 Chainz coming out doing some soft shoe cooning. They call it soft shoe cooning. They be cooning and they tap dancing, and they perform, as I call it, performative politics, where they come out with the butter biscuits and they start feeding our entertainers the butter biscuits, Steve Harvey and all of them, and they start coming out, and just performative. I call it performative, you know, plantationism is what it is. Mammyism, Samboism, whatever you want to call it. But we're not going for that. We are the foundational Black Americans that are on this platform, and we're wanting our check. We're coming to Washington to get our check. I went to Washington, D.C. 3 weeks ago. We went right in front of the White House, and we put down that work. And we let them know, hey, man, we're not going to just keep voting. We're not just going to keep voting for nothing. We want tangibles. We want our people. We want our communities. Let us self-govern our communities. We can handle this on our own. And I was talking to some brothers about self-policing our communities. And we're getting some units together, man, and we're galvanizing our own troops, and we're circling our own wagons, and we're going to get ready to do some big things, Brother Red. So y'all stay tuned here at Urban Matters Matter Live Chat. I'm going to start posting information. I'm going to give y'all bulletin updates, reports, different things that's going on where you can start being proactive in your own community, and you can start not sitting back waiting on the government, because the government is going to self-destruct. You already hear this brother right here telling you about the dollar is self-destructing right now as we speak. And y'all are oblivious to what's happening, and you don't understand how it's going to affect you. So that's my question, Matt. That's my next question, Brother Red. How would this really affect the Black community? What do you see? Will the women be able to still be independent? Will the fellas be able to still ride on Ford Audio, what they call them, Ford Audio rims, and what when it comes to poverty, how would this affect the poverty in the Black community? And we're already a permanent underclass, so let's chime in on that, bro, Rick.
Poverty is the poverty class is gonna grow exponentially, because like I just I pointed out a little earlier. Think about the people that's right now. What's the poverty line? I think it's like 20 grand a year, something like that. That's the poverty line. Juice, I'm not sure. Maybe we, I can look it up. I think the poverty line is maybe like 20,000 a year, something like that. But with the advent of this petrodollar going to the BRICS, like I said, we're gonna have to add 55 to every one of our dollars to catch up. So even the people
I think the dollar is like worth 3 cents right now per dollar that you have. So that those numbers pretty much check out, just like what you're saying.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, even the people, that's like around my tax bracket, they're gonna feel it. They're gonna feel it because everything's gonna go up. If you don't have a HELOC on your house, your mortgage is gonna go up. You see what I'm saying? If you don't have your rate locked in, your mortgage is gonna go up as well.
Sure.
And just think about all the commodities that we need to survive in this country. The circuitry, what's it called? The lithium and things that we need for the microchips and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You think China gonna be giving us a break on that stuff?
They call them semiconductors.
Do you think them BRICS countries gonna give us a break on the price of that stuff? That's what you think? Ain't no way, bro. They gonna tax the holy hell out of us, and
they gonna tax us, and they gonna make us use their currency.
And anytime a big corporation gets taxed, where do they displace the tax? Where's the tax displaced to? It's replaced with the buyers. If somebody shoplifts out of Walmart make the shoppers pay for it because they raised the prices. You see what I'm saying? So it's all gonna be a cause and effect type of thing. So,
but nephew, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
So I'm still, I'm gonna beat y'all about this all day, every day. When I look at the data and I look at the industries that Black people work in, and of course, I'm right now I'm spending a lot of time researching generative AI. Spending a lot of time studying robotic automation. So when I look at these transformations that's taking place in the supply chain and the workforce, and I look at Black education, I look at Black skill set, I'm gonna ask you again, nephew, how are Black people gonna make money, especially when all of these corporations, even the government, are looking at how can they leverage generative AI to reduce their costs and increase their productivity? Help me out with that.
Voss, I saw an article yesterday where they're coming out with AI where it's going to replace the truck drivers. The truck drivers are about to be replaced. So to answer your question, what we're going to have to do is Black people, and I'm just going to speak for us. We're going to have to get on board with the BRICS nation. We like Juice was saying, we're going to have to transfer all our money into BRICS dollars. That's the only way we're going to make it. Whatever our profession is, we're going to have to get paid through BRICS. If we're not making BRICS, if we're not going to be making BRICS money, we're not going to be able to compete. So everything's going to be thrown into turmoil, and our Black people, we definitely going to be at the bottom of the chain because we're at the bottom now with the dollar where it's been at for the last 5-6 decades. We still at the bottom. Out of all these decades that's passed by, we still at the bottom. So when this thing here hits, we're gonna sink. We're gonna sink further.
So essentially, central bank digital currency is a way for an individual to begin banking with the Federal Reserve. So right now, the Federal Reserve has no individual accounts. They don't have. They work with just businesses and governments.
Yeah, I hear
but
you.
you cannot open up a bank account with the Federal Reserve.
Yeah,
Central bank digital currency
going
would
through
change
some stuff
that.
about the
It's a
digital
way
currency.
for
Y'all
them
keep chopping it
to
up.
open up an account.
We're gonna wrap it up
essentially
here in a
with you as an
minute, though.
individual,
Hey,
and you
I wanna
bank
chop it. I
almost
wanna
directly
I
with the
wanna tune
Federal
back
Reserve.
in with
Now,
y'all
they say
guys
that they're
early in the
still going to
morning,
have
man.
some
We're gonna have
intermediaries. The banks would, of course, still
men's
exist. That maybe your account would
coffee
be held
in
with
the morning.
Chase or
We're gonna call it
Citibank
Black
or
Coffee,
something.
the Black Coffee
But it would
Roundtable.
essentially still be your
I ain't got
money
no
is
problem with
Let's
that,
held
chop this
bro.
thing
directly
up
with
for
the
the 4th
Federal
of July,
Reserve.
man, and
They're saying it is
we're gonna
not
finish chopping
crypto.
this
The
thing
biggest
up,
thing
man,
to
because
understand
it's a lot of
is
information.
the
It's
difference
a lot
between
of information for our
cryptocurrency and
people, bro.
central
You
bank
already know
digital
how we got to
currency
break
is
it up into bits and
crypto
pieces.
is not
You
centralized,
already know that
and
this
central
is gonna
bank
be
digital
real
currency
complex,
is. It
but
would
we
be
gotta get this
regulated, centralized by
update to
by
them
the
because,
Federal Reserve, we
like
should
you
say,
said
not the government, the
about
Federal Reserve. There's a difference.
exchanging your currency
And
into the
it's different
BRICS
from crypto.
currency.
Crypto is a
Now, what I
decentralized
recommend
digital
is
currency, and
don't
central bank digital
kind of
currency would be
diversify your whole
centralized
portfolio
digital
when it comes
currency.
to your financial
Now, the
portfolio
Federal
and kind
Reserve
of
has been
get a little gold here, get a little
openly and
silver
actively
here,
exploring
get a
this as an
little
option. There are
BRICS
some
nations
countries that are already
currencies
in
here.
the
And
testing phases of CBDCs for
it's a
their own
lot of
nations.
African
The
nations,
Federal
man,
Reserve actually
that's
announced
kind of
back
been
in
out of the
November
spotlight,
that there
but
would be a
their
12-week
currencies
test
are
pilot
very strong
program that they're
because
going to be
they
rolling out
have a
with
lot of
certain banks
natural
like Citi,
resources
US
like
Bank,
diamonds and
Wells
gold
Fargo,
and stuff
amongst
inside of their
others.
ground.
So they're
People
already
like
in the testing phases for CBDCs. This
Uganda.
isn't just like a theory or a
Uganda,
conspiracy theory. This
a
is a
lot
real
of people
thing
like
that the Federal Reserve is already talking about, that they're
also
already testing, that they have they've got a lot of information out
what's the
there
damn
about why
name?
they'd even want to be doing this. And we're going to
Damn
go
it, I
over some
can't
of
think of
that.
the one.
But first of all, when you go to the Federal
Place
Reserve's
over there.
website, they
The name of
actually
their
have a
president was
page
Mugabe.
on their website. Here it is. You can look
Damn
at
it,
this.
what's
This
the
is
name
central
of it,
bank
man?
digital currency.
Not Libya. It's on the
They say
East Coast.
here,
It's in South Africa.
while the Federal Reserve has
It's a
made
little
no
bit
decision on whether to pursue or implement
Zimbabwe.
the central bank digital
Zimbabwe.
currency or CBDC, they've been
Zimbabwe
exploring
has
the
so
potential
much
benefits
gold
and
and
risks
silver,
of
man.
CBDCs
Hey, but
from a variety of
another
angles, including
conversation,
through
Red. Listen,
technological
hey, we're
research
gonna
and
shut this thing down,
experimentation. Our
man.
key
Listen,
focuses on
I
whether and
love y'all,
how
family.
a CBDC could improve
We got
on
our
an
brother
already
Red. We
safe and
signing
efficient
off.
U.S.
We're gonna pick
domestic
this up in the
payments
morning. What
system.
time you think we can chop it up in the
CBDC is
morning? I
generally
get up early,
defined
man.
as a digital
I get up early,
liability
and
of a
this my
central
signal
bank
is
that is
acting kind of
widely
janky right
available to the
now, so
general
I'm just
public. Today in the United
Let me
States,
see.
Federal
thing up.
Reserve notes, which is physical currency, are the
Maybe,
only types of central bank
maybe
money
like
available.
9, 10 o'clock, something like that. Probably be good.
9, 10 o'clock. Okay.
Yeah, unless you want to do it a little earlier than that.
I get up early, so I'm up, bro. I'm up, so yeah. But that'll work though. That'll work for me, cause I'm gonna drop some little ribs on the grill for my wife in the morning. So I ain't really got nothing to do, man. I cut my grass today, so everything around the house is all Trump tight. So let's pick this thing back up in the morning, man. And me, you, Professor Voss, hopefully some of the other fellas, with the round tables, a lot of the guys we have in the Black Grassroots here at Urban Matters Media
One,
Group
one,
can
one
chime
thing I
in.
do want to say. One thing I do want to say before we go, Juice.
Mm-hmm.
I want our people to start being more open to different types of ideas and
Yeah,
information,
open-minded.
and
Absolutely.
and stop being so obtuse about things,
Absolutely.
just because that's how it's always been, that don't make it right. So it's time for us to take information, dissect it, and digest it, and come up with a different mind frame on it. So
Absolutely.
what I'm saying is, we have to be a little more cohesive with our people, instead of fighting someone with a different idea. Sit by like, I never thought about it that way. We got to take that type of a mindset, instead of being
Yes, sir.
so stringent against what someone else is presenting. Because, like I said, a lot of times, just because you don't have this information, don't mean it's the wrong information. You see what I'm saying? So
Correct.
hopefully this stream will help someone, to understand what we're trying to accomplish here, and get us to a better understanding of what's coming, because
Right.
it's coming, people. I can promise you that it is coming.
Oh,
So
it's coming.
I just want us to
Everybody
be
ain't gonna get it,
prepared.
Red. It's a bunch of
And like
useless eaters out here. It's a bunch of useless eaters, and a lot of them just gonna perish. They gonna
and
perish.
I told and like I told you and like I told Voss, some got to die for others to live. That's
That's
what it's
right.
gonna be, bro. That's what it's gonna be.
Absolutely.
And bro, I love you, but I
One
got to get
love.
up out of here.
Appreciate you, man. You don't understand
Give
what
me,
you do for this channel, man. You don't understand your contributions, bro. Your kids are gonna understand this. This is a digital footprint. Every time we go live, there's history that's gonna be left on the books, bro. Digital footprints, digital breadcrumbs, and they're gonna be able to enjoy this and get this. Because, like I said, it ain't for everybody, especially the people at our age, man. They're not gonna get this. They're too complacent right now. They're too stuck in their ways. They're too, what's the word I'm looking for? They're too rejective. So they perish from the lack of knowledge. When you hear that saying, that doesn't mean that they don't get the knowledge. That means that they reject the knowledge. Peace and love, my
bro.
brother. We're gonna end that one. Oh, you want to say something? Go ahead. Go ahead.
Last thing,
Follow that up.
we live in the information era right now. So
Absolutely.
to be ignorant is just ignorant, because we have information at our fingertips. You see
Wow.
what I'm saying? So
Wow.
we have no excuses, you
No
know.
excuse.
And instead of arguing with facts, go do some research. Do some
Absolutely.
research and figure out what's going on in this world. And like I told Voss,
Correct.
once we get connected to this world, it shrinks. This world is not as big as it used to be because of this thing called the World Wide Web. They don't call it the World Wide Web for nothing.
Yes, sir.
The information that we gather actually shrinks the world, because I can go on an app and talk to somebody in Japan right now. You see what I'm saying? And
Absolutely.
we can share ideas. We can even share money, and they're all the way in Japan. So
Absolutely.
in all actuality, what I'm saying is it's time for us not to be so obtuse and
We got to wake up out of the slumber.
have a convex outlook on this world. We got to look at the broad picture. You know, we got to do the macro. The micro is not working for us anymore. We got to go broad now. You know, especially for our people. Let Professor go ahead and close us out.
Close us out, Professor.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. So a couple things. Let's get together after 10 because I lecture in Sweden from 8 to 10. I would love to join y'all if we can do it after 10. As a matter of fact, you can do it right after 10 because I'll be hanging up for my lecture, number one. Number two, nephew and Juice, regardless of who wins, this country and the world is going to automate. They're going to use robots and they're going to use AI. So the question is, again, what are you doing, Black people, to pivot? Look, how are you making money today? And the question is, what impact will AI have on what you're doing today, and how will that look tomorrow? Regardless of whether Trump win, whether Biden win, that Genesis AI is here to stay, and they are making more robots every day.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We're gonna sign off on that one. Thanks for that information, Professor. And that's a great question. We're gonna start posting surveys on here too, Professor. So get me some surveys together, and we're gonna start collecting data. And
I'll
I
send you some
think that's
stuff
how we're
too,
gonna make
Juice.
that. Yeah, you too, Red. All us. We're gonna put together some surveys and some data collection surveys and questions, and we're going to get to the bottom of this ignorance. And we'll know from that point on, because the data doesn't lie. From that point on, we'll know who on code and who is not on code. And then that way we can consider writing their asses off. So I'm your gracious host here, Dr. Juwce. We got the professor, Brother Red. We signing off. Y'all get at us. Happy 4th of July.
Hey, Breezy, cut that shit up.